Can you hear it? Welcome to Relay.
Sweet nicotine.
Okay, with any luck, not only can you see us, but you can also hear us. Which means It's time for the intro. Ladies and gentlemen, the moment you've been waiting for, the pride of Star Citizen, it's Relay Station. We've got our guest, Nighthawk. We've got Shiver, he barely talks. We've got me, I call the shots. And last, we've got my right-hand man, it's Nakara. Check it. Can I be real a second? For just a millisecond. Let down my act and tell you people how I feel a second. Now, I'm a model of a fan of all things visceral, an angry Canadian drunk who's only good at yelling loud. I know we all line up to put Star Citizen on a pedestal, yelling on forums, embellishing its elegance and relevance, but the truth will be here soon. I can't wait to see it light our faces in the CitizenCon room.
Okay.
Welcome to the Relay Station.
Oh, that was amazing.
Thank
Actually, it was really well done. Good job, Mr. David.
I will not stop, wee hamster. I'm sorry. This is the intro is the one.
Dude, he's been doing this for like 3 years. There's no stopping him now.
The intro is the one segment of this show over which I have complete creative control. Also, I guess I forgot to do this. Sorry, everyone.
Okay, I'm gonna let you in on a secret here. He has complete creative control over the entire show.
Shut up! Don't lie. So, welcome to the Relay Station. Nighthawk Zale is back. Thank you for being on, Nighthawk.
My pleasure. Managed to kick the family out of the house again.
Excellent.
That's what I do. Okay,
All right.
undressed. Here we
So
go.
how's everyone doing today? Hey, we already have 29 people. You guys actually like to watch us? That's amazing.
It's crazy.
You do notice that most of the people tend to show up after your intro.
Baby
though.
hamster.
Most people do actually seem to try and wait about 10 minutes before showing up.
Yep.
But I don't care. I got a beer to open. Just gonna open
Pride
this up.
beer. Nice.
Oh, Jesus. I thought that was a really nice stick of rock.
Cheers, everyone.
Cheers.
Cheers.
So, before we get into the Star Citizen stuff, I want to quickly say thanks to everyone who joined us on Tuesday of this week for the inaugural. Thanks, Shad and Turk. For the inaugural episode of Relay Space, a brief history of SpaceX. It was our first episode of Relay Space.
Yes.
And we'll be talking a little bit about more of SpaceX and colonizing all that up there, other planets and space and stuff. In what day will that be actually? In like 2
That
weeks?
should be the 28th of August.
Yeah,
2
28th
weeks.
of August, we'll have another of those episodes. So hopefully you'll join us for that. So, Nighthawk, how's your week been?
It's the first week of school. We survived it mostly. Mostly.
Oh, that's a really early first week of school.
Yeah.
It's insane. Yeah, it used to be like first, sometimes second week of September, but for some reason it's 14th August this year. It was really early. And,
That's not right.
it didn't help the fact that a lot of these kids are coming to school feeling sick and bringing it home. And
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
yeah, that's been lovely too. So,
The children
It's
children
the beginning,
plague.
The beginning of school plague.
yeah.
There's the beginning of
Yeah.
school plague. There's the mid-school plague. There's the end of school plague. There's the summer plague. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I bathed in garlic beforehand because I knew it was coming. So, just kind of,
That's actually why
Stay away.
shawarma is so popular up here.
I believe it.
So, Shiver, how you doing?
I'm all right. It's been
Cool.
a stressful week.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's unfortunate.
And another stressful week coming.
I like the interaction of the smoke there with the green screen.
Yeah,
it looks
it
pretty
sorta
funky.
Tunes out the green screen. It's great. Okay, so let's start talking about Star Citizen.
What's that?
I don't know. Where would we like to start? Do you want to start with some of the stuff that was shown during the week, ATV and the likes, and then we can move on to the roadmap? Because, I mean, the roadmap's a fairly big thing to
Yeah, we might as well go over what was talked about, and then we'll do roadmap afterwards.
Okay.
Everyone's yelling roadmap, and yes, we will talk about the roadmap, but it'll probably take up most of the show, so we want to make sure we get through the other stuff.
So let's go on to this. Actually, I just because I'm seeing it, I have to answer. I'm great at tying like self-tied bow ties. I actually tied one of my good friends' bow tie for his sister's wedding because he couldn't tie his own bow tie, so I tied it for him. There's a great picture of me doing it. I just don't own any. I only own one, and it's one that Shiver sent me from the UK. And I don't want to put that on my neck all that often.
So what you're saying is you really only own one real bow tie?
Yeah, it is correct. It's a problem, but they're actually not that common. Okay? Bow ties
No,
are
they're
hard to
not.
find. Okay. Let's go over to show and tell and start with... actually, let's start with... Wait, why can't I copy this?
There we are. So, this was Aberdeen. And the videos were graciously provided by me this week.
Yes,
actually.
they were. I need to change that.
Haramis is getting undue credit.
Sorry. Fixed. Ta-da.
Oh, that's awesome.
So,
this was Aberdeen.
I'm really liking it. I think it's coming along nicely.
And for the uninitiated, Aberdeen is a moon of Hurston. One of 4 moons of Hurston. I mean, it's pretty dead looking. I mean, I know there's some twigs and stuff poking out of the ground. Doesn't look like a very nice place to be.
Yeah, but neither does Hurston when you're
No, I was
near
gonna
the
say.
cities. So it fits. It fits.
It totally does.
sorry, I'm having a slight issue getting the next image propped up. If you guys could chat for a moment.
So I just wanted to touch on this really quickly. We don't have any video from from our TV because it was not very gifable, if you know what I mean. I basically watched our TV, and it's really good. If you have any interest in the Mustang, I would go watch it. The beta living area is pretty cool. Apparently Miami Bat's not a huge fan of it, I don't think, based on that emoji. But it is pretty impressive. Pretty impressive what they managed to fit into that space, considering how big it is. It's very, very tiny.
Yes, but
Does it still have a coffee
I think
making
that
machine?
no, they actually nerfed everything from the kitchen to the bed. They got rid of the couch entirely. I think they really missed on an opportunity to sort of reaffirm the difference between variant and edition, because they basically took the exact same hull as the Alpha, and instead of using the cargo space, they just build it with living space, and they could have, but I don't know, even maybe like half a meter wider, and they could have had room for a lot of other things.
It's, I mean, we could actually give me a second. I'm going to find and pick up this the proper GIF here.
Now, don't get me wrong. I really love the look of the new Mustang. I love the folding wings. I love that it has actual landing gear now. So even if you get shot to pieces, you can still touch down. Like they've done a lot of great things with it. I just think that was one missed opportunity.
But like they've changed the Freelancer. For the Freelancer, the back half of them is different on each one, right? Like the Max has an extra engine.
It looks
it's
that way.
wider.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what you're talking about, right?
That was where they missed the boat with the Mustang Beta. Is they didn't change the hull, which they probably should have.
Yeah,
100% agree.
I also want to say I really like the looks of these Freelancer.
Okay, I'm going to completely disagree with you on that. I hate the colors.
Oh, I don't.
Terrible.
The colors can be
that's
fixed.
Terrible.
That's still work in progress, though, I guess, because if you look at the detail
it's
work
very
on the
awesome.
Freelancer now, that's got a hell of a lot more detail on the outside. than what
Actually,
they
yeah,
showed
I should clarify that this is in gray box phase, so it wouldn't be the look wouldn't be
It's not
final.
done.
But those colors look bad.
But okay, so for the Dur, the thing that I don't understand about the color theme they went with, why periwinkle? Why can't they just use a real blue?
Exactly.
Why the periwinkle? Look at that periwinkle on some kind of like rust orange.
It looks terrible.
The colors
Yeah.
are bad, but keep in mind we'll be able to change the colors on our own in the verse. One thing I want to know is when you're looking at the top of them, there's that like almost a spoiler in the middle of the top, right? That spoiler gets in the way of that turret from firing forwards.
Yeah, it does.
It does a little bit.
what
You
the
Yeah.
don't
hell's-
need that turret to fight. That's not what the
I mean-
turret's there for. The turret's there for anything on your ass.
If
Yeah,
there's
because you have a lot of forward firing guns.
Yeah.
but
I
if there's
still
any
don't get
kind
the
of
spoiler.
functionality to the spoiler, it would make sense to have it there. But right now, it doesn't look like anything more than a spoiler.
It's a spoiler.
What do you need a spoiler in
that
space
looks like
for?
a spoiler. Why do I need a spoiler? There's no atmo. God damn it.
Well, you
Space
do
wind
wanna-
resistance.
You do want to land the damn thing, don't you?
It seems weird. Other than that, I love the misses missile loading.
Oh man,
That
Oh
is-
yeah, that's nice.
That
that
is-
ship.
seeing them
Ever
like
since-
load up and in and out. It's my
To
first
be
ship.
fair though, ever since I saw the freaking and yes, I'm doing the Donald Trump thing.
No, I got a big issue with that because this is Italian, okay? This means something is good. It's Italian. It's an Italian symbol, and that's good pasta, okay? Anyone?
Okay.
But, girl,
Ever since I
take
saw
your politics
the
out of my Italian.
ever since I saw the brochure for the miss, I read it and I was like, that ship is going to absolutely slaughter things.
Yes.
It has so many missiles. It's
Yeah.
insane.
Yeah. And Miami Bat, I have to disagree. The Mohawk on the Dur is actually one of the things I really liked about it because it physically showed how they expanded upon its sensor capability. Like
Yeah.
that's something I really liked.
I was very happy they kept the boobs because the boobs are like integral with that ship.
It's not a freelancer if it doesn't have boobs.
Well, except for the base model doesn't have boobs, so
That's
You
why
know?
it's not a freelancer.
yeah, exactly.
Okay.
All right, so let's move on from the boobs.
Yeah, let's move on to the freelancer.
You know, you missed a perfect opportunity to say, but that's not a freelancer. Duh.
Durr.
That's true. I missed it. Can't go back though.
That's not a freelancer, Max. No one's name is Max, though. Shoot.
And yes, the freelancer to answer a question in chat,
That was a
freelancer
mess.
Max always did have 4 engines because it's going to be a lot heavier. Than
I
the
only
main
see
one.
3 engines.
Going back to
Do I have to hit you, Shiver?
going back to what we showed at the very, very beginning we were showing the Aberdeen biome. This is more of Hurston's Savannah biome.
We don't actually know where this is for. They just called it the Savannah
Savannah.
biome. I assume it's for Hurston because it's a planet and it's huge. It's probably somewhere on there. There's the Savannah. But
Can I nerd out over that a bit? Because
It's insane.
They showed the wind, and the way it was done was unlike most other games where it's like the whole thing is just one script, so everything's moving 1, 2, maybe on 2 different patterns. These things were individually moving like singular entities, which is fucking insane. And you could see that the real wind was in there as well. It gave you just watching that gave you a feeling of presence.
I
Yeah.
really
And-
want to go back and clip like our show a couple months ago and looking at chat and people being like, oh, it all looks terrible. These trees are hideous. This is the worst thing I've ever seen. This is garbage and I don't like it. Okay. Yeah.
there's a reason that work in progress thing is always stamped in the bottom right hand corner.
Yeah. What do you think, Nighthawk? How, like,
I'm absolutely loving it, and it's a great opportunity for them to show off that new particle system they were talking about. The better
Totally.
defines the distances for viewing, because it as you look at this through the loops, you can see the grass right up in the front, and every single patch of grass is moving. And then in the background, you can kind of make out the movement, and there's less detail there, but you can still very clearly tell it's grass, it's moving in the wind, things are happening. And the further back you go, it's not really grass. There's nothing really there. It's just color, but you can still see the movement in the larger flora, and it
also take
so
note.
good.
Sorry, I don't mean to interrupt here. But just looking as it's looping. If you look in front of the nose of the Avenger, there you can see like a bunch of dust blow by. I thought that was really neat thing. Sorry, go ahead.
I think it's just going to be wonderful to drop in there with one of the larger ships and have a bunch of your friends get together on like Noxes and Dragonflies and those X1s when they finally come out, and just go for a long ride. It's going to be the kind of place where you want to do that sort of thing. And honestly, I wouldn't even be surprised if the Daymar Rally crew started doing runs out here too. Ample opportunity.
Oh, totally.
Yeah. Wonderful places to do it.
The thing I'm waiting for most in Star Citizen, because one thing that CIG have always done phenomenally is this is a beautiful game. It's already a beautiful game, and everything we're seeing about the biomes and where the places that these planets are going, everything we see promises to be even more beautiful. I really, really hope that they can start giving us a reason to go down there. And not, I know a lot of people are completely capable of making their own fun, going out, hang out, just driving. I want there to be a distress signal. There's a crashed ship. You have to land somewhere, get a vehicle, and go to it. I want an excuse to drive through this. I want them to give me a reason.
I think they're absolutely going to do that.
Yes.
And what excites me the most out of all the things involved with this is the weather system that's going to be coming into place. Because can you imagine getting a distress call from the Savannah region and having to try and figure out how to fly down there in the midst of the monsoon season? Like that's going to be a nice challenge. You got to figure out which is the right ship to do it. You got to figure out which kind of support craft or vehicles you need to be able to survive through that horrendous weather and retrieve either whatever items or personnel that are out there that are making the call.
Or gigantic dust storm.
Which so good.
Yeah.
If they're anything like the dust storms in Iraq, I will stay in orbit.
Now, I didn't
I'm not
mean
kidding.
to switch over to this. That's like snow in Canada. It's just it literally doesn't matter.
But snow melts. Okay,
Yeah,
it's not 6 months later, and you're still trying to wash the gunk out of your gear.
It does melt, and guess what? It melts and gets everywhere. You go outside, bundled up as much as you can, like only this is visible, and you still unbutton at the end of it with completely soaked everything, and you need to like curl up in front of a fire to even start feeling human again. Though that's all going away because global warming's a bitch. But
HARP. It's HARP.
Loadout customization, they keep doing work on that. That's good.
This is specifically referring to renting equipment with Rec for Star Marine, which is
Star Commander, as they're starting to call it.
Are they?
Arena Marine. Yeah.
Arena Marine.
Yeah, they were making jokes about it. Yeah.
I kind of like this because I have been a subscriber for a long time, so I have 1.5 million Rec.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Got some
I
Rec.
need to spend my Rec. Oh boy.
What else do we got? We got some scramble races.
Yeah, there's a bunch of great shots of the scramble races here.
I'm actually quite eager to see those scramble races in action. I think they're going to be a ton of fun, especially if it's a mix of players and NPCs in the races. Cool. That would be fantastic. Then you really have to figure out your logistics before you get into the race, because if you don't put the right kind of team together, then you're just not going to make it to the end.
Yeah,
I love the clarification this week and the changes they made where they're like, so the Ursas weren't really able to keep up with the Cyclones, so now they can just blow them up.
Yep.
That works.
And I'm okay with that. But then it begs the question, with permadeath mechanics and everything, if you're going into these death races, how is that going to work? Are you going to need Apollos on standby at the finish line or half
Yes,
point?
you will.
Like
But there's gonna be two ways this is
Vulcans
done.
all over the place.
There'll be two ways that this is going to be done, right? Because you're going to be able to have these scramble races in Arena Commander, which is the video game of the game, eventually,
Right.
probably,
Yeah.
or and make little to nothing on them, or you can go to the real ones that people bet on
Yeah.
and have corporate sponsorship, and you risk your life to make the big bucks, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And I used to go out to the street races a lot, end of high school, start of college, and there were basically two categories. There were cash runs and there were pink slip races. Are they going to be doing the same thing in the game? Like, are you going to race for pink slips at any point?
I don't
Because
a
really
pink
think
slip?
so, because I don't know how much I don't know how much control you're going to have over like souping up your Ursa. I mean, there's probably some things you can do to it, but
I mean, I'm sure
How
you
will
can
they-
swap out components like you can on a ship. You can change out the shield generators. You could probably change out maybe the power supply. You could swap out weapons, and then we don't even know what the hell they're doing with any of the subcomponents.
yeah.
Subcomponents might make a big difference too.
that's true.
How are they going to measure the points? Are they going to go from, the older the ship is or the older the pilot is for more points?
Oh, that's a good question.
Hmm.
Because the way I understood it was that the points were collected when you hit the checkpoint. And so it would probably be like a static point value for each checkpoint. And whoever runs through the checkpoint first gets those points. And it's not necessarily the first person across the finish line, but it's the first person across the finish line with the highest point count. And the fact that you can beat beat other people down and take their points, like, that's insane.
Hamster, to answer your question, pink slips in the US are basically like the registration for your car. So you're basically you're racing for
Oh yeah, for
your
ownership.
car. So if you lose the race, you have to give the other guy your car.
That's insane.
Yeah,
Right?
that would
Because
they're
if you go
high
into
stakes.
the race with a cyclone and you win highest points and you walk away with your cyclone and someone's Ursa, okay, I don't want the credits, because then you could do whatever you want with that Ursa. You could strip it down for parts and sell them off. You could sell off the Ursa entirely, or you can
You
add
could
it to
piss
your
the guy
fleet
off
use-
and just fill it with explosives, and then create a really nice fireworks display.
You could
you get your buddy in the back of the Cutlass who's been watching the whole time to grab the rail gun and just blast it right in front of them.
you could
Sorry,
you
I
could
couldn't
buy
take it
yourself
with
a
me.
nice utilitarian habitation pod.
Yeah,
There you
I
go.
really like this. This is a cool visualization of sort of what they're calling a finished hab pod. So this is basically what's going into the game.
And then once you've got one, you can live on your ship and start renting out your old habitation pod.
Yes.
That would be really cool.
It's-
Yep.
That would be really cool if you could do that, especially if you knew you were going to be leaving the system for a long period of time.
Mhm.
Because if you're making runs into deep space
Airbnb.
on like X,
Yeah,
Yeah,
totally.
why not?
Space
I mean,
B&B.
Space B&B.
because some of
Can
these
we-
deep space exploration missions, you're not going to make your credits until you get back.
Yeah.
So it's a
you
good way
need
to be
make
making
some-
money while you're
and-
gone.
And what happens if you don't make like what happens if something happens and you don't succeed? Man, we need space B&B and we need vehicle rentals, because I mean I've got so many ships now. I'm gonna rent out my
so
Endeavor.
instead of being called landlords, would they be called space lords?
Yes.
Yes.
So
I have to say, this new Hab room
maybe
so much better than what we have now.
yeah.
maybe Stellar Lords.
Stellar Lords. That's a good one.
Right. Oh, this was pretty cool. Basically, this is showing that if you increase the amount of power allocation to your quantum drive, you can spool up way faster.
Yeah.
So you could just quickly slam all your power into your quantum drive and then get the hell out, which I
And-
think is really
But
cool.
then you see
And
the
that-
problem there is you're sacrificing power going to your
Yeah.
shield. So if you're under
Yeah.
attack, yeah.
Yep.
But it's,
So you-
Yeah.
it really
but-
adds something else.
But it's a really nice alternative, because if you remember, there was a lot of complaining when they first said, "Oh yeah, bigger ships are going to spool up slower than smaller ships, and the bigger ships, if you're jumping for longer distances, are going to outrun the smaller ships. So this is a great way for people to kind of compensate for that. You know, you can pull back on the power for your QT in smaller ships, and you can jump at the same time with the ship you're supposed to be escorting, and vice versa. You
and
can boost.
They'll probably be able to do all that automatically. Like, you won't have to guess how much power you want. It'll just dial down your power for you when you're linked, hopefully.
Right.
But
And-
go ahead.
We Hamster makes a good point. He says could also damage the component in doing so,
Yeah.
which is totally okay, because if the risk requires that you be willing to make that sacrifice, then whoever your engineer is going to have more gameplay during QT.
Yep.
You know, they're going to have all that time to make those repairs.
I also like the idea of, like, I know only the Avenger really has the EMP, but as disruptor weapons start
Saber
being used-
Raven,
Oh yeah, it does too. Forgot about that.
too.
I
Two
kind of
EMPs.
always forget about the Saber.
And we have the Anvil Hawk coming out, and what is that, 3.5?
Yeah, it's coming soon.
But
Yeah, that's going to have EMP on it as well.
the idea that you could either EMP someone to stop them from jumping, or using disruptor weapons or an EMP somehow, EMP the attacking ship, max power to quantum, and get out of there, because your shields don't matter, because they're like, there are other ways of
Good point.
getting out of battles, and it's going to be a balance of how do you choose to do things.
And even if you don't have EMP, if you've got those sucker punch,
Yep.
those will work too. I mean,
Exactly.
they're essentially the same thing as EMP, but they're direct line. You know, they're point and click instead
Yeah,
of just.
Um,
boing.
They're hitting
just
your
a quick
shields. Sorry, go ahead, Nikar.
Yeah, it's quick clarification. The Anvil Hawk's actually 3.4, so it's coming even.
Oh.
Oh, 3.4. My bad.
Nice.
I'm looking forward to that one.
So there's other things that
particular-
are coming really, really soon. We should probably take a look at the 890 jump, because I know a lot
That
of people,
grotto.
That grotto.
I know a lot
grotto.
of people are just really giving it a hard time.
No.
No. That thing is turning out to be sexy as hell.
It's going to be
That's-
amazing.
That's going to make for an unbelievable mobile org headquarters.
Look at the grotto.
That thing is just sexy. And I've been to the Playboy Mansion. That makes me think of the Playboy Mansion. I'm not kidding.
See, there's two different. I was
It's
thinking, hey,
nice.
that's going to be useful at Christmas when you can dress up your org leader as Father Christmas and he can give out auroras.
Double little
I,
girls and boys, eh?
I feel like it's
Exactly.
completely useless, and I don't like it.
I love it.
I hate
Okay.
the 890 jump.
I love it. I love
That's
it.
probably why you don't have one, right?
Yes.
Yeah. The cheese wedge is not for everybody.
No. I don't like the idea of, like, a luxury, like, ocean yacht. I'd rather have a canoe.
Well, you would, but I don't. I like the idea of it being in the game.
Oh,
I
perfect
think
for in the
that's- I think
game,
that's cool.
because I know exactly the type of person that will own one, and I hate them already.
Not a big fan of Rico. eh?
I love it.
But
It tells me who I can hate.
Just think of the easy target that you can easily rob.
Exactly. Well, no, I don't rob people. It's
Will
just,
that be the case though? Because it's going to have a lot of
890 has
high-end.
really big weapons.
I'm gonna think
Yeah.
of I'm gonna think of the target that I can, one, reclaim, and two, freaking upcharge like hell when it comes to saving them. Oh,
no shit.
your
That's
890
true.
jump blew up? Oh, times 12 on calculator. Yes, that's going to be 400,000 UEC for your rescue. Meanwhile,
I mean, you want
I've
those
partnered
components
with
fast,
Shiver, and Shiver's blowing up any other rescue ship that comes by. Monopoly.
So the price keeps going up.
For free,
Good.
just because I'm
Yeah.
a bastard.
Yeah, and
Good business
I'm
model.
clean. Shiver's blowing up all the other competition. I'm like, yo, your oxygen's running out. Are you going to pay me or are you going to die?
So they haven't talked about this directly, other than saying that it will be a VIP sort of transportation ship. But I'm pretty sure they're going to tie in all of the passenger carrying mechanics from the Genesis into this ship. and your prices will obviously be freaking enormous, but I think that'll be one of the gameplay mechanics for it.
All I'm saying is, if I buy a passenger ticket on a luxury cruise aboard an 890 Jump and there is no performance by Plava Laguna, I'm getting a full refund.
Okay, last thing. We started by talking about the Mustang. Here's a GIF of the Mustang. Looks like a Mustang.
I really like the lines. Even if it's not the fastest ship in the game, it looks fast.
Yep.
It looks like a self.
It's really nice.
It's great.
It kind of does.
Like it's very like 1980s. This is how we do stealth by angles, and
It's it's almost like the next generation of the F-117 Nighthawk, the stealth fighter. It does look like it's related.
I love it. That's let's see if I can link this one here quickly. I'm gonna close
Brevel's
that.
84. I will be on your 890 Jump then.
Okay, so can I just do this? I wonder. Let's see if that breaks.
You wonder?
I wonder.
I'm seeing blackness.
It's coming.
Oh, there we go.
Oh yeah.
Make it more picturey. There you go.
I'm working on it. I gotta do things manually sometimes here. So there's the Colex
That's a sneak
shipping
peek this week.
pods. It's a sneak peek. It's cool.
Yeah.
Looks pretty. And then there's
Makes you
another-
wonder how they intend to use it.
Very carefully.
Yeah, but are you grabbing a carton of cigarettes or Big Bennies out of there and you're supposed to ship it to another location, or is this where you turn in your one SCU crate? Like what is the
and then there's this.
I knew you'd love that picture. That's why I stuck
Isn't
it in there.
it just
The Reclaimer has a fat ass, and I like it.
the Reclaimer? For all that it is not a combat ship in any way, shape, or form, is still the most imposing silhouette
Yeah.
in the game,
Yeah, it looks terrifying.
bar none.
And it will be terrifying because every old time Star Citizen backer will be terrified of it because of David and his tales of it eating people.
It could very well be the garbage woman out there.
Yep.
Honestly, the terror rating on it won't be maxed out until they get that claw functional.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. But once that thing's just grabbing ships and stuffing them into the chomper there at the back.
As far as I can tell, it is the only Star Citizen ship that is going to have a grappling rating in terms of combat. Like the only one that can do it.
I want to see it just grab something like a skilled pilot, not me, someone that can fly, but like grab a smaller ship and then start spinning and get faster and faster and faster, and then release the ship and just have the small ship fly into a bigger ship and blow that bigger ship up.
No.
amazing.
No. I'm sorry. No, I have to disagree there.
Okay.
See, when you're spinning it, you have to release it so that you can hit the 10 auroras that have been lined up in a triangle.
Yes.
Hey, there you go. You're playing Space Snooker.
I like Blue Z 87 there. You need to be able to like hold a giant sword in the claw and swing the ship to clean through bigger ships. Perfect. Love
So
it.
just start scavenging one of the module derelicts.
So
Hold on to
Set
that.
it up so it's just got a massive hammer on the end, and then you could make the galaxy's largest mini golf course.
yes.
There you go.
So
that would be
the
awesome.
first
I think that's
beer-
called Mega Golf, actually.
The first beer I had today was in support of Pride. The second beer I'm having today is I just need to read this for everyone because anyone that knows beer will find this insane. It's a Liquid Arts Fest IPA. It's a milkshake IPA with passion fruit, mango, and vanilla.
Oh my.
Did you say that's a beer?
It's a beer. It's a milkshake
I don't believe
IPA with passion fruit, mango, and vanilla. And I've got to open this up and try it. I saved
Okay,
this
I
one to
need to
try
know-
on stream because
I
Wait.
need
Put
to know
some
if it's pretty good.
put some cellophane over your webcam just in case you got to spit it out.
Does the can have like a little pink umbrella
Don't
coming
do
out of
it.
it as well?
Don't do it.
Smells slightly like cat urine, to be honest.
I feel like you've
Why
got
are
that
you
little
sniffing
demon
cat
from
urine?
Disenchantment sitting just off camera going, do it, do it, do it, do it, do it.
Oh man.
And we never heard from Eris. Oh no, why second one? What are you doing?
Holy shit, that's a mango milkshake in a beer.
Is it good?
It's not something I would drink.
What would you do with it?
But I am thoroughly impressed because the name of it is exactly what it tastes like. I don't like
Well,
it.
that's impressive.
I will be drinking this one and I will never buy this again. But wow. It's interesting.
How did you make a beer like that?
Okay, yeah, I'm
all right.
seriously wondering. Okay, that said, it is time for us to go
Roadmap.
to the roadmap. Nakara,
Okay.
take it away. Actually, I wonder
There's
if I
been
can.
me-
Can you send me a quick link to the roadmap? I'm gonna try.
Now, do you want here? I'll try this image.
Do you,
I
do you have
don't
an
know.
image?
Well, I have one of the images
Can
made
you
by
do it
Odysseus.
in? Oh wait, I think I can grab it from there. Wait, where did you put it?
I'm asking. I was just about to ask you where you want it.
I just linked it in Discord.
Ah, there's the roadmap. Excellent.
Okay.
I'm gonna try something. This is probably gonna fail, and if it does, I apologize profusely.
Okay.
But
Good luck.
can you also link me the image that you had, Nakara?
Yeah, of course. All
Doing this
right.
on
It's
the
just going
fly.
to be in the. It's just going to be in the Relay Station video group, or do you want it in your own thing?
In my own thing, please.
Okay. There you go. So the one I sent him is the
Odysseus.
Odysseus one.
I
Just
love his
because
roadmaps.
I love them so much. They have a much better visual breakdown of what the hell's
Absolutely.
going on.
Here. I'll just pull that up then. Oh, that's a lot going there. I don't know if anyone can even see that.
You might have to zoom in and then move through the image, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, that'd probably be easier.
If that works.
I will try that actually. Give me a second.
So just go top left and then
Yeah.
we can move through.
Give me a second.
1,000.
Oh, absolutely. I will link it to you guys as well.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, that's a good idea. Yeah, there you go. All right.
Oh,
So
that's nice.
last time we had Clovis Darnley was added as mission giver, and we have yet another mission giver added this time around with Recco Battaglia. Yeah, exactly. For 3.3. So 2 new mission givers. I suspect both of those will be in Lorville. And other than that, not a huge change here, except that obviously the pro armor was almost finished. And then actually, some note here: what the whistle means there is that development was started. And Hurston clothing collection went from nothing to 91% complete.
91%, okay. Nice.
So,
I mean, do you remember when they first started doing clothes? It was taking them, weeks to come out with one set, and now it's just like, yeah, Hurston clothing section got that done in a couple of weeks, 91%. So it's an example of we've done this before in the past, and it took us a fair bit of time. Now we're coming to doing another bit. We've got a lot of experience on it. We can do it a hell of a lot faster, and that sort of effect is what you're going to see more and more of, even on a larger scale going forward.
Yeah.
I am curious to know how much of the original concept art they kept from people like Megan Cheevers, because they had several people working on concept art for all these different clothing collection sets.
Yeah.
I think probably a lot of it.
I would hope so.
What her
'cause
what her contract was to make
stuff,
tons and tons and tons of concepts. So they
And we only
probably
saw
just
some
kept
of
all
them.
those, and then and
Like,
then
yeah, but what we saw was phenomenal.
Oh, it was.
and so I think they probably just took all those concepts and now they're implementing them all in the game.
Yep.
So they didn't get rid of the Hurston Moons despite it being striked out. They just split it out into the individual ones,
Yes.
and they are all done.
which is fantastic.
They're in polishing now. The small rest stops are now at 75% complete, so that's pretty close. Lorville had a whole bunch of tasks added to it, so it went down in completion. And then the Hurston Planet actually went way up in completion, almost to 80%.
Nakara, can I quickly get who's this by?
This is it's in the bottom right hand corner of the image, but it's by Odysseus. Odysseus 1992. ODYSSEUS 1992. And he posts them every week, right after the roadmap comes out, and I love them.
Yep.
I just wanted to make sure we properly credit.
Yes, of course.
I know for a fact he puts them up on Twitter in the Star Citizen hashtag, like every
Nice.
time they come out. And
Nice.
I would hope that he also puts them up in Community Hub on Spectrum, but
It's fantastic.
Yeah. easiest way to
Um,
find it is Twitter.
So the other thing I wanted to mention, because we can't quite see it here, but before we go any further, I'm actually quite impressed by this. The 3.3 patch, the overall completion percentage is already at 45% for 3.3, and we are it's not coming out till CitizenCon, so talking like
2 months away.
Something like
roughly 2 months away from the release, and
from release, but you're talking 4,
yeah.
maybe 5 weeks from Evocati.
and it's like it's a lot further along than 3.2 was at this point, if you know what I mean.
Definitely.
But that is in part because the object container streaming stuff has been in progress for like over a year.
What? I thought they started last week.
Not quite. So if we move down here, actually, go back up a little bit.
Sorry.
So you want to look at the gameplay stuff.
Yep.
So ship system degradation. Really looking forward to this. I
Yes.
want my systems to degrade. That's going to be awesome. The scramble race stuff looks super cool. I really want to blow David up while we're driving around on a planet.
Bring it.
And then you can see the others. There's been a lot of improvement in general. In particular, it's great to see the mining is going along really well. Asteroid mining jumped all the way to 57% complete. And then I think we can move on from there. The AI stuff has come along quite well.
I do have one thing to say about the gameplay though. With
Yeah, go ahead.
the ship item degradation, my only concern that I have with it is that there is not currently any form of manual repair. So no matter what you do, if the ship or its components begin to degrade and you have to repair them, you're going to be paying the full buck on it.
Yep.
And if I hope that they're really lenient, at least in the first iteration, in terms of the timers and how long it takes for this stuff to degrade. Because if it degrades too quickly and you're shelling out tons of cash, then it's going to be an issue.
I feel
Yeah,
it'll kind
I
of
agree.
be like the getting your ship back when they first launched, like the insurance claims for your ship. It was like 3 seconds that you had to wait, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it'll probably be something like that. It'll be like a couple UEC to test that the system works.
Yeah.
And as they see, okay, it does work. Ship degradation is degrading at the rate we like. Now we can
Right.
start adding in manual repair and this and that.
Hey,
Yeah,
David,
and-
are
Bam
you
Chow,
dri-
you're right. Sorry, go ahead.
I was getting a whole lot of breakup on your audio. Are you dropping frames or
I haven't dropped many.
actually can anybody else hear that his
Yes.
I'm hearing it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Really?
All right. Weird.
Can you just say you are heiress of Borg?
I am heiress of Borg.
That works. It works.
It might.
You look like such an angry Borg.
It might only. I am heiress of Borg.
There we go. That's a little
That
better.
was pretty
Not
good.
bad, yeah.
Bam Chow, I agree. You'll be able to hot swap those systems, but it's going to cost you money because you're either ripping the system out of another ship that you're not flying regularly, or you're going into like Dumper's Depot and buying a new part. So it's still money that you have to put out.
Yeah, totally. So very, very, very important thing here. I would love to show. I would like to point out to people anything there with OCS, including object container streaming. All the OCS subparts are between 80 and 95% complete, or 96% complete,
Except for object container streaming, which is 27.
Yeah. I was gonna say the subcomponents of object container streaming are almost done. I think that's because the subcomponents had to be finished before the main one.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's also really good that it helps to kind of quell some of the complaints about OCS and why is it taking so long? Why is it being pushed back? Now that they're breaking it down and showing you all of the different things that are required for it to function, it makes a lot more sense.
And that's like there was some complaints on Reddit that it's been like months and months and months since network bind calling had any progress at all, and I very, very much suspect that the part that they can't finish is waiting for OCS now.
Yeah.
Or there's some bit with integration that has to happen, and that's why it hasn't progressed. Moving on to 3.4. Lots of changes here. Big, massive changes.
Yeah.
Yep.
So interestingly, new mission giver added here too, Wallace Kim.
The more the better.
And the Lorville Business District has been added in here as well.
Characters.
This means to me that it's fairly likely that Lorville will be incomplete in 3.3, but that's not exactly a shocker.
Yeah.
It's a huge city.
Right.
There were parts of Stormwind in World of Warcraft that were incomplete for the first 5 years that it was out. It was pretty funny. It's like,
So
look, this is an empty room.
The whole 3.4 stuff is fairly explanatory, self-explanatory. They're getting rid of the MISC stuff. They're focusing more on the origin, and the freelancer stuff is doing well. The interesting thing is the gameplay stuff. So the service beacon and the mission types have been removed and moved out. And instead, what they're improving is FPS, ping, and scanning, and quantum travel improvements. Now,
Yeah.
They're basically, what this is they seem to be carving. I actually talked about this a couple weeks ago. They seem to be carving out a buffer for themselves where seems to be sort of in case things get really nasty with 3.3, or they have to move some stuff out of 3.3. They have somewhere to put it after. I think that 3.4 and the following patches might become heavier loaded if they successfully get 3.3 out intact, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Cloud Tech, Projectile Manager.
Cloud Tech
Tech.
is super awesome because it had been moved out to 3.6, which made me very sad. And now they moved it back up to 3.4. Cloud Tech basically means that you're going to get to see nebulas in space, which is
Pretty.
that you can actually fly through.
And look,
You can also combine that with the particle tech and the same tech that's going to be making bollocks, whatever the term is, resistance in the water when your ship flies over it. Your nebula cloud is going to react to the ship movement as well, and I kind of freak out about that as well. It's all that sort of thing that's just tiny little detail that is insane, that is just, I love it.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
give them an excuse to play with weather pattern equivalents in space environment.
I'm really excited for, in 3.5, the addition of the DNA face customization.
Yeah, that's going to be awesome.
That's
So
going to be
I wanted to point out something quickly before we go to that, though.
Oh, sure.
some looks like over 3.3 and 3.4, some big graphics improvements coming. There's the environmental blending shader, which you could see there in 3.3. In 3.4, they have the gas cloud tech and the hard surface shader improvements. All three of those are going to significantly make the game look better, especially planets. They showed a quick preview image of the hard surface shader improvements. It looked amazing. Like crazy shelf rock with like a bunch of inclusions in it. Yeah, I'm good with that.
I don't know if we can theorize much about stuff as far out as 3.5 and 3.6. This stuff is likely to change a lot.
Oh, it is. I just wanted to talk about what changes they've made because they are probably in some way significant. So DNA face customizer, absolutely awesome. Can't wait for that.
Do you think that they're going to be bringing in the community member scans to make that happen?
Only if I can get scanned at CitizenCon. If I can't,
Agreed.
then they never will. I will shave to get scanned at CitizenCon.
Me too. I will as well, and that's saying something because I really don't like being clean shaven.
Me neither.
So the reputation loss system, they basically, in terms of gameplay, they basically gutted 3.5 and 3.6 and replaced it with other things. So salvage is in 3.5. Reputation and loss system is in 3.5. Manual repair in 3.5. There it is.
I'm curious about that one. I want to know if that means that they're finally going to let us have paw tools and use them, and if so,
Hopefully.
what the limitations on those repairs are going to be.
I mean, they finished the paw tool like forever ago, so it
Yeah,
would be nice if we could use it.
M50 improvements.
The M50 actually gets some love after they were talking about possibly
Finally.
not actually reworking it.
And I'm still a little upset by that because they continue to tote it as the Origin Racer. And like I said before the show, the 350R is the Origin Racer. They introduced the M50 as an interceptor. It's part of the title. It used to be the A-Wing of Star Citizen, and I don't understand why they continue to neglect that aspect of the ship. I used to have a great time using the M50 in Battle Royale.
Yeah,
It's phenomenal.
it used to be terrifying combat ship
Yeah.
because you couldn't hit the damn thing.
Make the M50 great again.
That's right.
For
All right,
for
so-
3.6, there's not much added, really.
Can we move down? I just want to take a look at what. Oh yeah, the very important things. So parallel network jobs and the lobby refactor were moved out of 3.4 and into 3.5.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, not exactly a huge shock because it's another enormous technical thing. But server meshing has been moved out entirely from the current roadmap. It's basically the object container streaming of 2019. It's the next massive technical hurdle that they have to climb.
I will say I am happy to see that they're revisiting the Reliant Core with 3.4 because that ship really needs to have people wanting to fly it again. It's kind of like
I love the
Redeemer.
I love the idea of the ship. The implementation is a little rough.
It was a little very rough. And it really didn't match the concept art when they were originally putting it out there, and it, in terms of performance, just didn't match what they were conveying to the community, and because of it, you really never see anyone flying them. But it's a ship that's already in the game.
Mhm.
People should be flying it, and they should have a reason to want to fly it. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what they do with it.
The problem with the Reliant is it's not really a combat ship. It's a science
Starter.
other ship, but that stuff doesn't exist in the game yet, so it doesn't have a purpose. And while you get a purpose from something as big as the Starfarer, which there's no gameplay for yet, really, it's great because it's big, right? It's big and impressive and awesome. Same with the Reclaimer. It's big. There's nothing special about the Reliant yet. Why would you fly it? 'Cause
Right.
It's not. There's no point to it yet. It will have a point once the gameplay is there.
I
The
mean,
point to it literally now is to jump in and then show your friends how it can go whoop whoop.
Yeah.
whoop, whoop.
Right? Yeah, had that whole beaming land.
With that
But,
sound and everything.
Look,
Okay.
for those people who want to start in with cargo hauling, it's a great way to start because it's a multi-crew ship. It's a starter ship. So why not be able to do some small scale cargo runs with a friend? And if that's all that the ship is, so be it. You know, if you like it, you're going to have it and you're going to play with it. If you don't like it, then it's like Eris and his 890 jump. He's never going to get one and he's never going to fly one.
But I'm
Yeah,
gonna
but
blow
it-
a lot
it's
of
there.
Going to
so-
leave as it's just like Eris. You don't like it and you don't use it.
Yeah.
I just wanted to make a quick point about 3.6 because there's two very interesting things maybe that were added. The guild system is in 3.6. That is not the organization system. That is the NPC guilds. So things like
Like
Go
the
ahead.
Haulers Guild and the Thieves Guild.
I
and-
just
yeah.
want to. I need to interrupt quickly here because we only have 2 questions currently, and you.
we're gonna have
all
half an hour
know-
of singing.
Yeah, if we don't get some more
Okay.
questions, I am gonna start singing songs from Hamilton.
I'll get my most out of
No,
tune
he's on a
guitar for
Hamilton
it.
kick. Please ask
Yeah.
question.
I'm on a Hamilton
Please.
kick. I'm just gonna. I will literally start at the beginning of Hamilton and sing the entire thing. So get us some questions, please. Sorry, carry on, Eric.
So guild system, yeah. So this is the mining guilds, the transport guild, the so and so guild. It'll allow you to join the guild. They'll be giving you missions, all of this stuff. So that's in 3.6. Also, physical inventories are in 3.6.
Yeah.
You actually can
That's
carry things on your body, which is going to be huge as well. Also, the persistent item cache and insurance service are getting refactors in that. That is very likely in preparation for server meshing. Because I think there's some problems with the insurance service and the persistent item cache, because if you go from 24 players to 1,000 players, which is what you're looking at with server meshing, there are some parts that need to be able to actually do that.
Yeah.
Without breaking everything.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Well,
Questions?
I'm just waiting for some more. But
No,
I guess
start.
we'll
Just-
start. We're gonna start.
Put some pressure on them.
Yeah, I'm gonna start. And whoa, what happened there? There. Okay, I'm gonna start with Brivol's question. How do you think that scramble races are going to be set up? Will there be a UI element within Mobiglass where you place the flares, or is it going to be some other sort of system?
I
think-
very honestly have no idea.
I think to start out, we're not going to be the ones that are setting up the scramble races. We're just going to be answering the call to NPC run scramble races.
Mhm.
And so the checkpoints and everything are already going to be laid out for us. We don't actually have to do that ourselves. But eventually, it would be really nice if they did make it so that we could start our own scramble race, because then organizations like the Daymar Rally will be able to do exactly what they want to do in a very defined manner where everyone's on board. And even if you're that one lazy player who doesn't want to read the Daymar Rally rule book, you can still follow along via Mobiglass.
Agreed. Next question comes from my real bow tie. Are there any guesses or wish for ships to see teased either in Gamescom or CitizenCon? Kraken, Hammerhead, anything?
I honestly, I would like something completely off the cuff, something that they haven't talked about, something that we haven't voted on, something that's completely new, because that would be nice.
I want to see the Pegasus escort carrier, which hasn't been seen since the 2014 holiday live stream, I believe it was.
Yeah.
It exists. That's about it. I'd love to see anything about that thing.
Shiver?
I was going to say that, but I'll go with my second. I want a full tour of an Idris. Now that apparently the interior is complete, I want to see a full walking tour of the whole damn ship.
What if they could do like here's an idea for anyone from CIG who's listening. Maybe at the CitizenCon event there could be a VR setup where you can walk around the entire interior of the Idris.
That'd be cool.
That would be really cool.
And Shiver would be like, "Oh no!"
Fuck you all!
Yeah, exactly, Bam Chow. Updated Marrow tour.
Marrow tour.
You know what I want to see?
Questions?
No, this. Oh, it's so tiny. Damn it.
Is it you? No. Never mind.
Oh yes, the RSI Zeus.
I would like to
Oh,
see
man.
like some kind of historic cinematic from CIG of like starting with current world and like running through space like the space shuttle and
Kinda like-
SpaceX and
Kind of like the intro to Star Trek Enterprise, except Star
Yes.
Citizen, not Star Trek.
Yes.
Exactly.
I'd
That
like
would be cool.
exactly that. I'd like to see
But a better choice of music.
yeah.
Yeah, totally. Well, I mean, we have Pedro, so we're pretty much good in the music front.
Yeah, true. That's I'd like to see that. Now we do have a related question from Zaith. Based on the updated roadmap, what do you think will be shown at CitizenCon? Shiver, let's start with you.
I can't answer.
Okay.
Because he knows.
Yeah. Nakara?
See, this is a really hard one because they actually have now Chris Roberts sent out an email
Yeah.
about it to everybody. They are specifically withholding things for CitizenCon.
Yep.
My guess here is updated work on Crusader, Microtech, and maybe even a second system. That's my guess, because we know that all of the worlds for Stanton were already in production forever ago.
Yeah.
We actually saw some gray box of Microtech. So it's I'm wondering if we'll see that. I do think we will see significant Squadron 42 content there.
Nighthawk,
Anyway,
what do you
that's
think?
Star Citizen.
Good call.
I mean, honestly, I don't even want to guess. If I'm being completely honest with you, because
Okay, what are you gonna do if they come out and they're like, okay, Star Citizen has merged with Cyberpunk 2077?
here,
What if you're
I would
actually-
actually hate
What if
that.
you're actually wrong? What if you're actually wrong and they don't show Star Citizen at all?
I'd still be surprised. I mean, as long as
we
they put on
actually- we actually
as long as they put
realized-
on a good show and they give us quality information, there really isn't a reason for me to be disappointed.
We
But they've gotta
realized
come
that
forward with
Fortnite
quality
makes more
information.
money, so we partnered with Epic and we've made Space Knight a procedurally generated.
No, I think Blues
We've
has got the
revamped
right
Star
idea. The
Marine as
first-
Space Knight.
First 30 minutes are going to be promoting Intel or Nvidia. because
I
they-
hope
you
that
know,
Nvidia gets on CitizenCon to use it to promote their new
No.
RTX thingy.
I don't
The one
see it
thing-
because CIG's had a preference in the past to partner with AMD.
Yeah,
and they're going with Vulkan for the API. So
stupid.
I don't think that's going to happen.
Clearly, Aris doesn't know anything about Vulkan if he says it's stupid.
AMD sucks.
Vulkan's
The only-
amazing.
It
The
is
only
a
thing
I
much
really
better
keep-
choice for Star Citizen.
AMD sucks.
The only thing I really keep holding out for and continually being disappointed over is first sneak peek at least concept art for a Titan. Like I want freaking Gundams in the game already. Like let's make it
Yeah.
happen. You know?
Totally.
But that's
I think we should see
probably
that
not going to
because
happen.
I would love to see them in Squadron. Just like have one walking
Yeah.
by in the background.
Even if it's just background, but I'd like to see it in the game. You know, they've been talking about it for a few years now.
Mhm.
And I'd also like to see Hyper Vanguard Force on the Moby Glass. That would be really nice.
Yeah. I'd like them to start giving us mini games to play while we're waiting for our ship to land.
Or even while we're on those long quantum jumps, because we already know from ArcCorp to Hurston, it's going to be roughly, 8 minutes? And what are you going to do on an 8-minute ride if everything is spick and span in operating order? Like, they don't have the pool up and running yet. You can't play basketball in the cargo hold yet. So
I'm
at
in
least
Aurora. I can't play basketball,
Something on the
period. Give me something to do.
Right.
I Spy.
I hope
I
that
spy with my little eye something that is black.
I hope that at
Is it
CitizenCon
space
we
again?
see stuff that none of us can imagine. Because last year's CitizenCon, some of the most amazing stuff we saw was like the walking tech, the stepping into and between, like. Do you remember that was
pretty cool.
amazing at last year's
We'll
Citizen.
see a lot of that type of stuff this time, I think.
And
is a
that's
lot.
what excites me. The stuff because we know where they're going to see some Star Citizen. We're going to see some updates on the next patches. We know we'll probably see some Squadron 42 updates. I'm excited for the other stuff, the stuff that we have no idea we're going to see.
I'm talking very far away here, but Bluesy's onto something. I know I liked his initial sarcastic, shop on Amazon on your Mobiglass, but what if you could watch Amazon Prime on your Mobiglass? That would be pretty nifty.
It would.
That would be pretty cool.
That would be a great integration between Amazon and Star Citizen. It's a good suggestion. Someone should forward that to CIG.
Well, I mean,
I need to point something out here, if that's okay.
Go.
You sound so exhausted with my interruption.
No, just this beer is giving me some heartburn.
Oh, nice. That's a nice side effect.
I'm just in a little bit of pain here.
I just realized that so Intel is entering the GPU market next year, and I just realized we're going to have red, green, and blue as the three brands in the GPU market.
But you're giving Intel a hell of a lot of credence if you think they're going to compete with Nvidia.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, have
people
no idea.
People already give that credence to AMD.
Because AMD was leading for years.
Shat on that bed.
Blue, yes, they did. But we don't know what Intel is going to do with GPUs, but we do know that they will be putting one out next year, I think. So
okay, so
playing off of what Shiver said, just really quickly, Amazon Prime on the Mobiglass. I don't know if they would do something like that, but Lumberyard already comes with built-in Twitch compatibility. So why not, at the very least, let us watch our favorite Twitch streamers on the Mobiglass?
Yep,
that would be interesting.
Yeah,
I like it.
Might be something to do during downtime.
Yeah. And I'm saying this again, one of the things that I've been really excited for is the idea of someday being able to have Relay Station broadcasting in-game news in-game.
Yeah. And that would be a first opportunity for you to pull off something like that while you're still waiting for the Mako to come out.
We've actually done it. We've done it as INN. We did inverse news broadcasts.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. Give us the ability to do that. I could write us a million news broadcasts in a second.
Yeah, but I mean, like when things like VoIP is fully online and VoIP is fully online, you will literally be able to, not use your own real life mug, but use your in-game real life mug.
I know, and that's what I want to do. I'm excited.
That would be great.
Of course, I'm going to create my in-game mug to look as much like my real life mug as possible because, I mean.
Yeah, we want some horror aspects in this game. Yeah.
I'm.
I just connected two things. Your mic situation is perpetuating.
Is it?
And it didn't start until you drank that crazy milkshake beer combo.
It's killing me.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's killing your mic too.
Yeah, I think your mic basically is dying.
Shouldn't be. Okay, next question.
I think. Okay, go for it. Fire away.
Q Labie says, I've been away for a while, so I don't know if Star Citizen is going to Gamescom, but if they are, what do you guys expect? I don't believe they are. Not.
Bar Citizens.
They're doing a Bar Citizen. Actually, that's a great time to point it out. Next Friday, RTV will not be streamed live on Twitch. It will be a town hall Q&A session at a Bar Citizen in Cologne at Gamescom, same city as Gamescom. And Brian Chambers and Aaron Roberts will be there, as well as Sarah McCullough, and I can't remember the others, so maybe someone else can fill this
At
in.
least 2 others.
Yeah.
In case you don't, Sarah McCullough's been on here. She's very enthusiastic. She will tell you things. She's really good at her job. And we wish her luck for her talk as well.
Yeah, and it won't be live streamed over Twitch. It's going to be a live recording with the audience, and then they're going to put it up on YouTube for us to catch if we're not there.
And they did say it still will be up on Friday. Although I expect that given time differences, it might be very, very people in North America.
Mhm.
I have just been brought nuggets and buffalo sauce.
Ooh.
Are those?
Denied.
Oh, that's hilarious. Oh man. So we just gotta. That should be a great clip. Somebody make sure they clip that. I'll clip it. Here we go.
Okay, let's get a couple more of these questions in.
Fire
Sorry.
away.
Hungry Noodler.
We hamster says you're spoiled.
Yes, 100%. I don't know where I'd be without Mrs. Eris. Hungry Noodler asks, any thoughts on the recent $100,000 noodle theft?
Well, no.
They're
Not really.
insane criminals roaming the countryside right now. The audacity of their theft. Very clever. They really use their noodles to think it through, though.
I wonder if they're broths.
It really makes you wonder just how many noodles equates
That's a lot
to
of freaking
that much.
noodles.
Right? So they're going to need a pretty large cargo hold.
Yeah. Like
And
Next
a very
question!
large
like a
kettle.
Hull E of noodles.
They just use the
Imagine
whole
the
E like
size
a
of the
fork.
bowl they must have.
They're bowling for soup?
Oh yes.
Man.
Therum VS asks, with all the talk about changes in the flight model, do you guys think that the player character movement will also see an adjustment? I personally find it jarring when I see people zipping around so quickly in the PU.
Yes, absolutely. There'll be a lot of refinement for that type of thing all the way through release, honestly. There's it'll see constant improvement.
Yeah, and they've actually already shown some of the improvement episodes of ATV. They've talked about it in Calling All Devs, particularly with what was it, animation transitions and vaulting, start, stop, smoothing, all that kind of stuff. So there's definitely a lot more work that they plan on doing with it.
I hope it needs to be something that feels a lot more natural. If it needs to feel more like BF movement system than Armor's movement system, even though right now, I hate to say it goes towards the Armor side, which is not a bad thing necessarily, but I think Star Citizen is going to be a hell of a lot more fast-paced and mobile than Armor actually is.
It needs
so
to
you
be.
need, yeah.
Yeah.
But we have actually seen their work in progress for the streamlining of animations and like the jumping and the like. We're seeing it. They're working on it, right? So.
There's so much depth in the animation. These people,
Yeah.
I mean, doing animation anyway, you've got to be fucking nuts because you are literally moving a finger for 50 fucking scenes. And it's like, who the fuck notices that? The animation guy notices that. But he's not just doing that. He's doing it for many different styles. He's got to do it for a civilian style who doesn't have a fucking clue how to use a fucking gun. He's going to do it for a military style. So someone who does know how to use a fucking gun. So he knows the difference between putting your finger on the trigger while you're resting and putting it on the side of the gun. It's like, who the fuck would notice that? The animation guy, that's who. He's nuts and I love them.
Yep. Basically, yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Okay. Killer asks, do you think that the next turret update will fix how horrible they are? No. It'll go
They
part
will
of the way.
Help, though.
It'll start.
They'll very slowly iterate and get better and better and better and better until they're okay. And then eventually somewhere down the road they'll be good.
But
Maybe.
the thing with turrets is it's always going to rely on pilot turret communication, being able to work as a team. You can't just stick someone in a turret, stick someone in the pilot seat, and go, "Well, there you go, you're on your own." No, you've got to work out a system. Like
Yeah.
Orc said last week, it's important. It's proper teamwork.
Yeah, yeah. Because if you don't have that teamwork down, it doesn't matter how good they work the turrets up. You're not going to be able to use them.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Smugs asks, now that the Apollo came out, do you think the medical gameplay mechanic is going to make its appearance? Soonish, yeah. Hopefully.
Before Squadron.
Yep, because it has to be in
Didn't
Squadron.
they said in calling devs that they've started work on triage equipment for Squadron, which will eventually
Yes.
make its way to the EU. So
Yes, but we haven't seen it
Eventually.
on the roadmap yet, so we don't know if or when they intend to start implementing it.
do you
soon.
think they'll need full medical gameplay for Squadron, or just enough
No,
to
'cause you're not a-
combat medical?
Combat med. You're not
Probably combat medical and like maybe at most tier 2 triage, because as far as we know, you're going to have med bays, you're going to have Apollos, you're going to have combat medics down on the field, but you're not going to be coming across an Endeavor Hope.
Yeah. And also, you are not a combat medic. So, assuming that you'll maybe have to do some, like, tier 1 healing at some point, or tier 3. Sorry.
Tier 3.
Some tier 3 healing at some point, you'll be doing it. But the most of the game, you won't. And you're not going to be doing any tier 2 or 1 healing yourself. That'll be other medics, and they can fudge that. By not having it in the game, they can just...
wake you up in a
Multi-crews
Bacta
being
tank.
fudged
Yeah,
at
there are
Squadron.
things in Squadron that they can still fudge. So,
Absolutely.
Spaceship Training Wheels asks, Microtech or Crusader in 3.5 or 3.6?
Microtech?
Microtech.
Microtech probably, I don't know, 4.2. I haven't really talked
You
about
think-
it.
Didn't they mention when Mark Skellington started a little bit of work on Microtech?
Yeah, it's been started.
Well, yeah,
it's in progress.
They've got concept art for it, and I'm sure that they've started laying out plans for it. But
They actually showed Greybox for it.
did they?
It shouldn't be too hard because you've got the particle system in there. You've got various other systems that tie into it. I suppose it just comes down to we need to make a hell of a lot of snow and ice now.
That's what I'm really. I don't know why. I'm sure there's a reason, but there's no locations of any note really in 3.5 or 3.6. So I don't know what the deal is. I don't know if they're just waiting to see if they can actually finish Hurston and ArcCorp in 3.3 and 3.4. But I think we'll probably find out coming up here on CitizenCon, maybe at CitizenCon, what their plans are for locations.
Let's be clear. Chris's letter straight up said there's things that they're hiding from us so that we don't know. Maybe that's one of the things they're hiding from us.
That's a good point.
Yeah, those secret
might be the
bastards.
You know what else they could be hiding from us? Brivals asks, whatever happened to the Titan armor?
We kind of touched on that already.
Yeah.
The next
Titan
great
armor,
Star
we
Marine.
want Titan armor. Come on, Titan armor. It's got to come eventually.
So there's a couple of these questions where we're like, what about this? What about this? All this stuff is missing. And in 2 questions, I'm going to talk about some of those. But first, Zaith asks, with the long travel times, should CIG consider increasing quantum speed?
They will.
kind of.
Go
I
ahead.
mean, they've talked in the past about, like right now we're running QT at 0.2 speed of light, and they've talked about pushing it up to 0.3, but I don't know if we're going to see that before we have a full star system in place. And even then, it seems like it's locked into one or the other. It would be nice if they gave it to us in a way where we could start out with a system that runs 0.2 and you could push it up to 0.3. But then it begs the question, all that stuff that they're planning for us to be able to do in travel, the pool tables, the basketball, the Moby Glass apps, repairing the ship, all that other stuff. If you're running 0.3 speed of light instead of 0.2 speed of light, you're not going to have as much time to do those things. So it's really hard to say for sure right now.
I mean,
It's going to
they
come down to
might
balance.
increase it. No, I could see them increasing it a negligible amount with equipment variants. What we've got now is this is the stock quantum drive. There's going to be higher
Right.
quality quantum drives, so you may get a little bit more speed like that and overclocking and things. But
All they've really
putting
said
it to 0.3 is a hell of a lot.
But all they've really been willing to put out publicly pertaining to the difference in quality and grade of quantum drives is the spooling time. They haven't really said anything about the actual speed at which you travel based on that drive.
Mm-hmm.
So Bluesy says we should use a planet to slingshot for a speed boost. The problem with that is
No,
you end up
don't
going
give her the
too
cat
fast,
piss.
and
Oh,
you end
I'm
up going
trying to
back
get her
in
to
time,
try
and then
it.
you've got to rescue 2 whales.
Where you can actually see her face
Rescue
trying.
2 whales.
That means it's really bad.
Just try it.
Oh, here goes. Yep. Yep.
Do you
Yep.
taste the milkshake or the mango?
No.
You never want to taste anything in your
No.
life again.
Tastes like milkshake or mango, actually.
Weird.
Neither of those things.
Does it just taste terrible?
It's the passion fruit.
Oh, you taste the passion fruit. There it is. Yeah.
I just wanted to mention travel times are. There's a few things that they will be tweaking right up until and after release. Travel times are one of those things. They will constantly be tweaking to try and find the best balance between it taking long enough and it not taking too long.
We've already seen it happen back when, geez, I don't even remember which patch came out, but originally, travel times down to planets was hell.
Yeah, and they fixed it
And
in
they fixed it.
3.2.
And they fixed it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
that's like they are fixing the things that are terrible. So
Oh, Sylveon 700. We have a new
Don't
guest.
forget,
Welcome to the
we've
show.
only got
Welcome.
experience traveling in system as well. There's going to be jump points, and we have no clue if they're going to be
Not
a very
even-
short thing or a long thing or what.
Not even in system. Our only experience is one planetary system. It's not even a full
true.
star system.
No, it's just one planetary system. Yep. People are going to be shocked, I think, at how long the travel time is to.
yeah,
It's going to be
Yeah.
a while.
But they need to make travel entertaining,
Yep.
not just
Mm-hmm.
20 minutes
Well,
of my
they
life. I'll just sit here.
They also need to make it possible for the pilot to get up out of the seat without the ship dropping out of quantum or
Yes.
going to zero.
Yep.
You know, they got to fix that too.
Yep. Eventually, I mean, I can't see that being too horribly hard to fix, but yeah, they do need to allow you to actually get out of the seat and walk around your ship when your ship's doing its
They
thing.
need a very basic form of autopilot that just you put in the destination and hit quantum and it keeps you
Yeah.
Right.
going there.
Yeah.
The next question.
Oh, do you though? That opens up a whole thing, because you have got pilot and navigator as 2 separate jobs, and the navigator's got to have a X amount looking ahead and being able to plot the course, and then pilot
That's only
has
on a
actually
big
got to do
ship.
it. Yeah, it's true, only on a big ship, but then
But
that's
then
still
you
something
still
for them
need-
to constantly do, isn't
But
it?
you still need something to be able to say, no, I'm not jumping multiple places. I'm going straight. I'm going in a straight line. I'm going to go in a
cruise
straight
control.
line, take over,
Yeah.
and I'm going to get out of my seat. And it's going to continue going in a straight line. And it'll make any minute corrections it needs to as long as they're not too big.
Sylveon, sorry.
Sorry. Tilu asks the next question. Describe your perfect Squadron 42 reveal trailer. Now. We were talking about it earlier, how I really want to see the RSI Zeus, how we want that start from Earth and the history, like the Star Trek cinematic of like the history of space flight, and then you get to the RSI Zeus, and then you start going through the Star Citizen ones, and then you get to something like the Idris, And then you go into the Idris and you go to a person, and then it's Squadron 42, and you're playing Squadron 42, and there's people talking and stuff's happening, and it's on the Idris, and it's Squadron 42 happening, and then you end up, I don't even know if you take off on your own little ship or go up to the bridge. Anyway, and it eventually gets to the point where someone's like, okay, hit the jump point. And then we see the ships going through a jump point. They get to the other side. Vanduul fleet. Lasers start going. Squadron 42. October 2019. That's what I want.
It's almost as good as my idea.
I mean,
What's your idea?
So you just have black screen and then spotlight. Melissa Estrada walks in and
Okay.
says, Squadron 42 is coming out on this date, Shiva. And that's it. That's all I need.
My perfect Squadron 42 reveal trailer. Mark Hamill's character giving us a long monologue about his time during the war, and
War never changes.
that's Ron
That's not
Perlman.
Mark Hamill. That's not even the right game.
And as he's talking, you see like flashbacks of combat and like his buddies dying and stuff. And then it sort of pans over to you, and you're this like fresh faced, like freaking teenager looking punk. And then you both jump in your ships and get rocketed out in with a giant freaking Vanduul
King
what's it called? Kingship. Yeah, just like pulling out in front of your Idris, and then as it comes across, that's when the Squadron 42 banner comes out. And yeah, then I have no idea about the date, but that's sort of my idea.
Nighthawk,
Anyway,
what about you?
go ahead.
I want the Red Dwarf introduction and just Squadron 42 in place of the title for the show. That's what I want.
Okay, if we're gonna do
Fair.
that, then I want the Firefly intro, but with Squadron 42.
I
instead.
want
Actually,
the
that would
Fifth
work pretty
Element.
well.
I want the Fifth Element, and then when they crack open the thing at the beginning, it's just the Squadron 42 logo.
Well, I want the Star Trek introduction, but Squadron. And instead of saying Sir Patrick Stewart or whatever, it just says, Melissa Estrada. Melissa Estrada.
Okay, we've got 3 more questions. I want to get to them super fast before we end. Spaceship Training Wheels says, concern question. Female characters are currently off the roadmap. What the hell? Thoughts, rant, customizable characters.
They're not off.
They're not off.
Female
They're in
characters are
3.4, I believe, still.
female characters haven't moved.
Yep.
They're still scheduled for
I
3.4.
can actually, I think I can bring it up. 1 second. They're 3.4?
4. Yep. 3.4.
There they are. Let me go to this, and let me turn on this. There you go. 3.4 over there on the left. Playable female characters is the 3rd thing under it. Female characters.
Yep.
Okay.
They're in 3.4, and I really, really hope that they hit that and they don't delay it again, because
Yeah.
it's now been delayed by about 4 years.
Whitebeard, the mostly continent, asks, how much time do you think there is between when things are integrated into Squadron 42 and the Persistent Universe?
It depends on the thing very much, I think.
I think
I
something
know
like
it's a
medical.
cop-out, but
I think something like medical will be in Squadron 42, but they might be faking it, so it might not hit Star Citizen, the PU, for a while. And I think there's lots of things like that they might be faking a little bit for Squadron and won't appear in full use in Star Citizen until a later date.
Bacta tanks for Squadron 40.
Yeah, basically. And the last question for the day is from Brivols. It's something we actually managed to get this entire time without talking about at all. But Opinions about the latest updates about the judge's ruling on CIG's motion of dismissal.
They got it. It was partially dismissed, partially not dismissed. Crytek has filed amended complaint, which includes an injunction, yes, which would stop Star Citizen from being developed. I give it roughly 0% chance of their injunction being successful.
Likewise.
So the motion of dismissal.
I think Crytek is trying to force CIG to into a settlement so that they can get some money.
They're basically trying to be a
broke-ass.
gnat.
Yeah.
They're trying to be annoying little dipshits, because that's all they are. The thing is, the motion for dismissal has absolutely nothing to do with whether or not there's merit for the case. Is this a question that can be answered just by the evidence that is being presented right here? The judge said, basically, on all these things, no, we can't know just with what we have here. There needs to be an actual trial on it. But...
Or at least a deeper investigation.
Or
fact divulged. Yeah.
But for this one, there is one thing that they said, no, there is no punitive damages that will be awarded. That's ridiculous. And they dismissed the ability for Crytek to get punitive damages. So now Crytek filing something else is them, again, trying to be annoying little dipshits. But it's very, very unlikely for them to get anywhere. They're not going to have an injunction against Star Citizen that is successful when the judge already agreed that Star Citizen does not have to be developed on CryEngine. That was one of the things in that motion to dismiss. It's CIG don't have to make it on CryEngine. Nothing in their agreement said it must be developed in CryEngine. And the fact that nothing...
that's because their understanding of exclusivity was ridiculous.
Crytek's was.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But the fact that CIG can use whatever they want to make it means that the Crytek aren't going to be allowed to say you can't make it because they went and used something else to make it, because CIG are allowed to use anything to make it. If that,
I just wanted to mention that one of the things that was dismissed was Crytek's request for punitive damages, which basically really severely limits how much, even if CIG lost this case, it really limits how much they would end up having to pay.
Yeah.
Because punitive damages is what gets expensive. Really.
Nighthawk?
And the chances of them actually losing the case are minimal.
Nighthawk, any thoughts from you on the whole thing?
Well, I mean, you guys have basically said what I've been thinking about it. You know, it pretty much went exactly the way I thought it would go. I follow both Lior Lesser and Leonard French, and both of their predictions were fairly accurate. You know, it was only partially dismissed. This whole section of the case that is still being scrutinized, I'm not sure if it's actually going to go to trial or not. I think that what Crytek is trying to do is to push them into a settlement out of court, because if they go to court, the costs are just going to go through the roof. And if Crytek loses, then they're really gonna lose. They lose not only the money that they put into this case, but they're going to lose a lot of their reputation in the industry, because it just doesn't look good.
Well, and they already have. No one's going to go and use CryEngine for anything now, because there's you don't want to be sued
I'm actually
into
kind of
oblivion.
surprised.
My motherfucking point,
And
you bastard.
Sorry, Shiver. I'm sorry.
It's still
that was literally my point. You don't sue your clients, and this seems very stupid. You can have a disagreement, of course, and you can try and seek damages, but they are literally trying to sue a client, and you don't do that, because your next person's going to come along and he's going to say, well, you fucking sued them, and what if you just turn around and decide to sue me? You have a reputation, not as
Why
a
do I want
service
to do
provider,
business with you?
as someone who just fucking sues you.
Yeah, honestly,
it's almost like Crytek is saying, well, look, we're at this stage now. We can barely afford to pay someone to come in and feed the fucking goldfish, and the goldfish moved out because we couldn't afford his food anyway. So we've got nothing left to lose by asking for this. We've got nothing left to lose
Right.
by asking for this. We might as well just fucking go for it. See what the judge is going to give us. Maybe the judge doesn't know what the fuck technology is, and they'll just go, oh yeah, clearly this is exactly like this case I saw when in my training days about 30 years ago, which didn't have to deal with as much digital media now. So yeah, clearly this is Crytek's going to get something. And if they lose, then oh shit, well, we've got to declare bankrupt. Oh, we've got assets worth barely anything left these days. We got no fucking staff. All we had were these lawyers, and they've done us crap.
Yeah. And at this point, it really boils down to you sued your client. So even if you did win the case, even if your client did screw something up, I still don't know that I want to work with you. Why am I going to work with you when I can just go to Amazon, use Lumberyard, which is essentially the CryEngine, and know that I'm not going to risk
Yeah.
my business,
this
my
is
project,
This
everything.
is not like Crytek, the company, or Crytek, the people making games. This is the owner.
This isn't devs and the game makers. This is
the owner.
office guys.
This is the twat that owns Crytek, being like, the games aren't doing well. Crisis has been a crappy game 4 times in a row. We got nothing left. Everyone's left. I've got nothing left. I'm going to sue someone into oblivion to try and get some even slightly...
Yeah.
I want a payday. I want to get something from it before it blows up in me. I want.
It really feels like an adult. It feels like somebody's just trying to bite back because they feel slighted, and it's. I don't know how they're going to be able to recover from it, whether or not they win the case.
By the way, it looks like very soon, if it hasn't already happened, it looks like very soon CIG will be a larger company than Crytek. They are down to 552 employees, and CIG announced, I think it was like a month ago, they'd passed 500.
Yeah.
Nice.
I also don't really trust Crytek's employee numbers because most of those people probably haven't been paid.
Are being paid. Yeah.
I mean, they already lost a bunch of people to CIG anyways.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Foundry
tons.
42 was founded on a majority of their people. So,
Yep.
Yeah, they're
Hey,
down to they're also down to 3 studios from they had
6?
they had 9 at
9.
one point.
Jeez.
They're down to 3.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sad, but let's be real. Crytek haven't made any good games in a long while, so oh well. And
Has anyone
At the very
played?
least, they
Has
haven't
anyone
made
played
games that are good
Hunt?
enough.
No, I actually really like the looks of Hunt, but it's a 2-player squad, not a 4-player squad, so I'm not into it.
Yeah. They have 2 games in development right now: Hunt, and Hunt Showdown, and Arena of Fate, which is going to be a free-to-play multiplayer online MOBA. Or it's a free-to-play MOBA.
I mean,
Which
how
is-
many of those are there?
Yeah.
Do we
A
really
billion.
need another one?
There are a billion MOBAs, and they're putting out another one.
Yeah, didn't they try that with like Cry Face or Anger Face or something?
I
They
have
had
no
some
idea.
face
don't know.
shitty
All right.
FPS free to play.
It's 2:05,
Yeah.
or 4:05, where you guys are.
Nighthawk,
I think it's
thank
time
you
for
so
us
much
to say
for hanging out.
Bye bye.
Absolutely a pleasure. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. Good conversation.
Yeah, it's
We
a
do.
lot of fun. We'll yes, Ghost got it. It's Warface. Nighthawk, we'll have to have you on again because we're gonna steal you anytime your family is away.
Absolutely.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'm always down for it.
Shiver.
I'm
Does
a
anyone
terrible
else think it's
human being, I
weird that
know.
down for it and up for it mean the same thing?
Good point.
I've never. I will say I'm down for something. I've never said I'm up for something. Weird. Zakara,
Anyway. Hi. How's it going?
2 Tuesdays from now.
Yeah. So, well, not 2 Tuesdays. There's only 1 Tuesday. Oh, no, it
it's
is 2
2
Tuesdays
Tuesdays.
from now. Sorry, my bad. It's the 28th of August. We are going to be talking about 2 things, which is the current and future state of SpaceX And also, how do you survive in space? How do you survive on Mars? How do you survive in the moon? And how do you survive getting to either place?
If you have any questions that you want us to cover, topics that you want us to cover in this relay real world thing, be it space, science, or tech.
Yeah, and yes, our audience, David did want to call the show Relayity.
I wanted to call it the theory of relativity. I've also decided that this umbrella of relay, this like umbrella of relay that's gonna cover like real stuff, should be called Relay Real, because it's relay real.
Oh god, it's terrible. It's terrible. It's terrible. 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 I'm gonna get the forms. I'm getting the forms link here so that you can submit any topics that you'd like us to cover.
Yep.
Just a moment.
Question: if you missed the live broadcast, you guys post the recording somewhere else?
It just went up on YouTube, actually.
Aha!
I think I can actually grab it. 1 second. Let me go to. I'm going to post in. Man, we did that for 2 hours and 10 minutes.
Yes.
That's insane.
I dated a girl like that.
Yeah.
So there is a link to the first episode of Relay Space. We cover basically SpaceX from when it was founded till now. Next episode will cover the future. Really hope you guys tune in for that. Really hope you guys tune into the next Relay Station, which is next Saturday, of course. Really hope you guys also go check out everyone else in the Podsat. So that's the Astropub. I'm not actually sure if he's doing a show today, to be honest. I think he might be taking the day off because he's back to school.
He did say something.
Yeah. Or GHG. I'm also not sure if GHG is on this this weekend, but I hope.
But tune in for those podcast Saturday shows
Yes.
that aren't on today.
That's what we want to say. And thank you all so much for hanging out. Thank you, Shiver, for reminding me that I have a show every week to do. Thank you, Nakara, for organizing all of the information and keeping me, basically letting me know what is happening in the world and in the Star Citizen. And Nighthawk, thank you for, making us not look like incredible tools that we are. And thank you all.
Always a pleasure.
For hanging out and watching and listening, and we'll see you all in the verse.
Take care, everyone.